Fresh, light and easy to make, this mozzarella roll will bring on the table a meal that requires zero cooking and minimal effort. I will show you two versions. You let me know which one you prefer. So if you want to know how I did this recipe, just keep watching. I place the fresh mozzarella in a bowl and then I am going to cover it completely with hot water and I am going to let it sit for about 20 minutes. I'm showing you two ways on how to make mozzarella roll. This one uses the fresh mozzarella ball. The taste was much better compared to the one I made with the mozzarella block, but unfortunately it broke while rolling it. Maybe I will try some other time and I will try to figure it out how to make it work without breaking it. I divide in half a sheet of parchment paper. Then I grab the mozzarella from the hot water, then now it's cooled down. And as you can see, the mozzarella, it's nice and soft. I pat it to dry it out and then I will place it right in the middle between the two sheets. Then I am going to start rolling to create a thin layer of mozzarella. Okay, this is the part I need to work on and I need to try to figure it out. Maybe I need to let it kind of like cool down a little bit to solidify again. But it actually needs to be soft to be able to be rolled out. Anyways, I try to roll back and forth and even side to side. And I try to kind of like flatten it so it's thin enough that then can be rolled. As you can see, there are some holes here. And it kind of like broke even on the sides. Still, I used it and I put all the fillings inside. And as I said, the taste was definitely much better with this one than with the other one. Not that the other one was bad, it's just that this one had a better taste. Even if it doesn't look very pleasing, of course I am going to use it anyways. It was actually delicious. Here I am filling it with some ham. I'm gonna add some fresh tomatoes and then some arugula. And as a final step, I'm just going to roll it up. For the next mozzarella roll, I am going to use the mozzarella block, which is the one that usually you use for a pizza. I cut thin slices and I use half of the block. Once I am done cutting the slices, I am going to place them on parchment paper and I am going to put them one next to each other, overlapping them a little bit so it's gonna be easier when they melt and I'm going to need to roll in them. I moved the slices toward the middle, so I'm gonna have enough space at the beginning and at the end of the parchment paper. It's gonna be much easier to have some space to roll them. Then I am going to remove the top of the parchment paper and then I'm going to place them on a plate and I'm going to microwave it for about a minute and a half. When the edges are melted and the middle is warm, I am going to place the other piece of parchment paper on top and I will start to roll. I create an about 20 inches long and 10 inches wide rectangle. And for the filling I am going to use a thin slice tomato, thin slice cucumber, ham and arugula. It's now time to assemble, so I'm going to lay some arugula down. I will place some tomatoes on top and then I will season with salt, pepper and olive oil. I will add the cucumbers and the ham and then I will roll everything. For the rolling part, I help myself with the parchment paper. I push it up and in until I am able to close it completely. I remove the parchment paper from underneath. I am going to cut the roll in half so it's going to be easier to eat. And then just for aesthetic purposes, I am going to cut even the ends. And this is my take on the mozzarella roll. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching.